My name is Allan Greenhill. The photograph you see here was taken in September 2015 on Nevis. The other handsome guy in the photo is Matt Whiteford, who's my best friend. We've been best friends for many years. So we decided we wanted to do Nevis for like a couple of years, but because of our schedules, like this was the only chance to fit it in. So we decided, Matt gave me 3 days notice we were going to climb Nevis. I'd been off for like 2 weeks just before it with a viral fatigue thing, so I really wasn't in any shape. Despite looking really fit on the photograph, I wasn't really in any shape to be climbing Nevis, never mind anything else. So because, well, us two, we've got a lot in common, there's a lot of differences as well, but one common thing is we're highly competitive, really. So basically this was a kind of race to get to the summit. So I had my plan to kind of let Matt do most of the walking at the beginning, which he did. He started off a really brisk pace, and then the latter part of my plan was to like kind of get to the summit before him. So we started off really well, and then we got to about a third of the way up Nevis, where that view you can see there, kind of looking right over the glen of Nevis, in the glen. About a third of the way up, about an hour and a half into the walk, I think the two kind of started to struggle, because Matt had the metal telescopic walking sticks, and by this point they'd totally disappeared. He threw them away. I think some guy up in Fort William had used them for a TV aerial or something, but they were gone. So and we're trying to kind of empty our rucksacks a wee bit, because we had too much stuff, too much food and all the rest of it. So really at this point here we're looking good, but we're not exactly kind of feeling good. So we had 2/3 of the walk still ahead of us, and up to this point we were having a really good time. My name is Allan Greenhill, and the photograph I have here is kind of part 2 of the Nevis Hill walk, September 2015. As we started to continue with the rest of the walk, I remember my wife saying, like, when I first told her we're going to do Nevis, like, she started going off her head saying, "You're in no shape for somebody who's been in his bed for the last 10 days to climb Nevis." And my wife talks a lot of sense, so I wasn't to argue. But I was really starting to feel it, and the words she was saying were coming back to haunt me, but we continued on. As we were getting up, like, towards the summit, probably about half an hour away from the summit, I still had the plan to beat Matt to the top, to the summit. So I kind of went ahead of him. Maybe he's kind of feeling it a wee bit, so I kind of surged ahead. I must have been about 2 minutes in front of him. So I was right at the edge of the summit. It's a big plateau, but you know, it just kind of hit me there. You know, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to win. It wasn't about winning. It was doing the walk with my pal, so my best friend. So I waited till he came up, and we crossed onto the summit together, which was really good. I think it was the best way to kind of finish that walk. But the twos were absolutely shattered. He wasn't really fit. I wasn't really fit. We were kidding ourselves on. We sat down. I pulled 2 cigars for the side of my rucksack. Now the twos don't smoke, and we got this guy who was running about to take a photograph of us, but to try and really kind of show off, because we were absolutely gutted, right? And people were asking, "Are you boys alright? Are you boys alright?" So if you can look at the top left hand side of the photograph, you see 2 guys with the high-vis jackets. They were actually kind of rescue people, and they were like, we heard people saying, "Are they boys alright? Are they boys alright?" So all we heard was this big kind of wub wub wub, this helicopter coming. And we're like, surely that's no for us, we're not that bad, you know what I mean? And I don't travel well, so I wouldn't have jumped on it, I get travel sick. So I says, "Matt, I'm not going on that helicopter." So he says, "It's for you." And he doesn't like heights, he says, "Well, I can't go on it." So what it turned out to be was it was a training exercise for the mountain rescue, and it was a new pilot in the helicopter, and he couldn't land. There was about 30 people on top of the summit at that point, and they're all watching this guy come down, and he couldn't land, and it wasn't till after we thought it was for us, but to kind of fly away again to the base in Fort William. So after the cigar, I think we got down that mountain pretty sharply. The next day, the two E's were absolutely like Frankenstein, like trying to walk. It was absolutely horrendous, but looking back, it was a great experience. It was fantastic, but not to be recommended when you're not fit.